Hello fellow travelers and welcome back to our Big's Adventure. It's Sunday, you know what time it is. It's time to meal prep. So let's grab a cup of something hot and get to work. Mr. Big's breakfast was supposed to be an omelet, but it ended up as scrambled eggs. I have a very handsome helper in the kitchen this morning. It's Mr. Biggs, and he is helping me by cutting up all of the beef that we pulled out of the freezer and helping me get it ready for canning. I love it when he helps me in the kitchen and especially helps me with all of the prepping for the meat to get it into the jars. My hands just aren't strong enough anymore to do that. All right, let's get into it. Here is the ham and beans that Mr. Biggs is gonna have for soup Sunday. And it went in the crock pot overnight. I'm not sure why it's so dark. I think it was because of the ham bone, but it's fine by me. And he likes it, so he already taste tested it. And I'm gonna have this venison soup that I canned in October when Mr. Biggs got his deer. Monday night, we're gonna have chili, this freezer meal of chili with some tortilla chips, red onion, and this little tiny bit of cheese that I found in the freezer. So that'll be Monday night. Then Tuesday night, we're gonna have sweet potatoes, turkey, chicken, and I'm gonna make Mr. Biggs a salsa chicken because I have this little bit of salsa left from our party that we had. And then I found this frozen asparagus in the freezer, so we're gonna have it with that. Last night I made homemade pizza. I'll put a picture here. And I decided to bake the sweet potatoes at the same time since I had the stove on. Wednesday night we're gonna have wild hog barbecue with gluten-free macaroni and cheese and cooked carrots, which I'll pull the carrots out of the fridge in just a minute. I won't be eating the gluten-free mac and cheese because it doesn't agree with me all the time. And I will have just eaten the quinoa chips prior to that, so I probably won't be able to eat the macaroni and cheese. I might taste it. It is delicious, but I won't be able to eat it. So I'll just probably have a little bit of sweet potato with mine. And on Thursday, I'll be having this fish. I'll prepare this Thursday evening because I like to have fish fresh. I don't like it to sit in the refrigerator for too long. It's just too scary for me. And Mr. Biggs will be having this stuffed pepper freezer meal that I cooked a couple of weeks ago, and I can link that video down below. A little bit different today is Mr. Biggs and I are going to be canning all of this beef. We got this beef in various places, and it's time for it to get out of the freezer and go into some jars. So since my meal prep is almost already done, we're going to be canning some beef today. For breakfast this week, Mr. Biggs is going to have this gluten-free banana bread, and I have a video to that, how to make it. I will link that down below. And I will be cooking this entire 2-pound package of bacon. I am super excited. Actually, that's 3 pounds. 3 pounds of bacon. So I like to pre-cook my bacon on sheets. I'll show you how to do it. And then I wrap it up and put it in the freezer. I'm going to start by preparing the poultry. This is my turkey. I'm going to put Everglades seasoning on it, the classic blend. I love Everglades seasoning, and it agrees with me really well. I put it on a lot of my food. Mr. Biggs likes it as well. It's got a little sugar, a little salt, some spices in it. It's really enjoyable. I Pinterested some recipes for salsa chicken. I didn't really follow any of them in particular. I'll link one down below. I didn't put any cheese on it. I just basically dumped the salsa over the top of the chicken. Mr. Biggs really enjoyed this meal. He said this is a definite keeper and I can make it for him again. I'm going to prepare my bacon now. I use tinfoil to do my bacon because I don't want to have to scrub the cookie sheets forever and ever. Basically, this is thawed thick cut bacon. I've used regular cut before. We prefer the thick cut. I'm going to go ahead and peel it all out and lay it on the cookie sheet nice and flat. Then I put it in a 350-degree oven for approximately, I don't know, till it's like kind of limp but not crisp yet. I just prefer it that way. That way I can crisp it up when I take it out of the freezer and prepare it for whatever meal that is. Look how pretty. My OCD is like so happy. Let's talk for a second about my all-American pressure canner. Now, I know not all of you are into canning or pressure canning or anything like that, so if you want to fast forward through this part of the video, that's okay with me. I purchased this in 2011 or 12, and I paid approximately $300 for it at that time. This is the Mac Daddy Cadillac of all canners. It is not the tallest one because I don't have the space in between my stove and my microwave for the super tall one, and I'm okay with that. I love this thing. I have canned so many things with this pressure canner, shelf stable up to 5 years. So all of the beef that you see at the end of the video will stay in my pantry for up to 5 years. I purchased all of this beef at my rock bottom price between $2.99 and $3.99, or it was given to us by our friend that has a cow. Either way, but it had to come out of the freezer and get onto the shelf. So I'm gonna do that next. These jars are washed in Dawn dishwashing liquid, the blue stuff. I love Blue Dawn for my canning jars to make sure that there's not a spot of grease. I'm just putting the beef into my prepared jars. I don't need to sterilize them because I am going to be pressure canning. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the rims with some vinegar just in case I have any grease around the edges. I wanna make sure that I get a nice tight seal. Throwing in a beef bouillon cube into each jar. I'm gonna go ahead and put all of my lids and rings on. You wanna make sure that your rings are finger tight, which means that you can get it back off with your fingers. I know some people that really crank on the jars, or they have this little thing, like a tool that cranks the ring on. You don't need that. I'm gonna put the cold jars into the cold canner in cold water. Then put the lid on the canner, put a little vinegar in there. I do have well water, so you always want to put a little vinegar in your water so that it doesn't leave lime scale on your jars. It does have its own process to go on, and there is a safety checklist that you need to do. This is the asparagus that I found in the freezer. I'm not going to do anything to it. The evening that we eat this meal, I may put some butter, salt, and pepper on. Cutting up the salsa chicken, and Mr. Biggs has already had a little bite of this and declared it delicious.
Who wants a sweet potato? Dixie? Does Lou want a sweet potato? Yes! Ooh, it's so good! So good! Let's get another one for Dixie.
Dixie, honey, your ear's all crazy.
That looks yummy! Look at Lou get one. Yeah, Cookie will get one.
You want a little more, Dixie?
Just one more. Oh, big girl. She's juicy.
And since dogs can't count,
we'll give Dixie one extra. Yeah.
He sure does love that heater. This is the bacon. The one on the top is not quite ready yet, and the one on the bottom is not even close to being done. Now I'm gonna cut up my carrots. I ended up putting a little bit of frozen peas in with these carrots for the meal prep, just because there weren't quite enough carrots to get it all done. Alrighty, my canner is venting. You can see the steam coming out a little bit. Yeah, there's some steam. So I'm gonna put my 10-pound weight on it because I am almost at sea level here in Florida. So there's that. Now we just chill out and wait for it to come up to pressure. Grab and go fruits for this week. For me, I will be having these dates. I love these things. I eat 2 of them every day. So I've got some little jars prepared with 2 each in them. I like to eat them on my way home because they're super sweet and they're a nice treat when I'm doing my commute back to my house. I've got this many oranges left. I'm gonna peel all of these and we'll both grab these as the week goes by. There's 2 grapes left, and there's this 3-pound bag of apples. I probably will stop at the grocery store on my way home from my meeting this afternoon and grab some bananas, just because Mr. Biggs said that he can do without bananas this week, but I like him to have one every day for potassium and all that stuff. I will probably use my change jar for that, just so that I don't have to spend my actual quote-unquote grocery money, since I am trying to do almost a no spend or low spend challenge this month. So I've got apples, oranges, dates, and some grapes. That'll be our grab and go fruits for the week. Check out my Christmas pants. I love these pants. They're so comfortable. Christmas pants. Now it's time to do some dishes. For those of you who are just joining me for the first time, I own a dishwasher, but I do not like dishwashers for whatever reason. I think they're super noisy and they take way too long. So I just usually zip up the dishes in the sink, hand wash. I find something very relaxing about doing dishes. I don't know what it is. And then I just dry them really quick and get them all put away. It's super easy and simple. Back to the bacon project. I did 3 pounds of bacon on this day. I just take the bacon off of the cookie sheet and put it on a plate to cool down a little bit before I let it touch the wax paper or freezer paper. It's pretty much all there is to it. Super easy. Everything I do in the kitchen is easy. I don't really do anything complicated. I'm going to lay the new bacon back down on the quote-unquote dirty tin foil just because I don't want to waste the tin foil that's already there. Getting out the second round of bacon, and I'm just going to put that on the plate with the others to cool down so that I can put it into the freezer. That's it for that round. Ooh, it's hot. That's it for this round of bacon. Make sure you save your bacon grease so that if you have potatoes or anything like that, you can fry it up in that. Here's some, the Kansas City Sweet Baby Ray's. We love that stuff. This is my canned wild hog that Jeremy got in, last year. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the meal prep containers. It's so easy when you have canned meats. It's almost like fast food. Super simple to meal prep with. I'm gonna grab the extra sweet potatoes that I baked and put that in with my barbecue pork meal. I can't eat a lot of that macaroni and cheese. It makes me have really high-pitched noise in my ears, and I get usually a stuffy nose and a headache. I'll eat a few bites of it, but I can't eat like a whole serving of it. Got my carrots and peas. I like this meal prep because it looks colorful. The peas really did it. It would have looked very orange had I not put the peas in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the lids on the meal prep containers, and this one's done in the books. We're going to move on to the final step of the bacon project. We've got 3 pounds of bacon here, and I love these little rolls. I can take out 1 piece of bacon, 2 pieces of bacon, add it to something, or I can take out a whole roll and use it for Mr. Biggs for his breakfast for the whole week. All you have to do is just roll it up and make sure that the bacon is not touching. And then when you unroll it, it's a perfectly good slice. It doesn't crumble. I really enjoy that. Cut the ends off so that it fits in the bag a little easier. And we're done. You know that I was not going to make 3 pounds of bacon and not have a little piece, right? And that's it. We're pretty much all done. The canner just finished. It's 11:26. Not everything is totally shiny because I will tell you that canner is hot, like super hot. You don't want to touch it. The best thing to do is just let it come down to pressure, off of pressure by itself, and don't touch it. So here's my macaroni and cheese, my quinoa chips that we'll be having with our chili, and this is my venison soup that I'll be eating later on tonight. I've got some of my Christmas decorations up, and there's that. And I have this star that Mr. Biggs made me, and I just change out the bow every season. There's my mason jar chandelier. I love that thing. That was what I got for Christmas, I want to say in 2012 or 13. And there's a little basket. I love this little snowman and snow lady. I got that the first Christmas that Jeremy and I were together. I gotta figure out something to do with that. I don't know yet. My cutting board that my sister-in-law gave me, I absolutely love that thing. And then I got this little guy at a thrift store for $4, and he's like solid metal. He's super heavy, and I love him. And then Christmas tablecloth. And this is kind of what I have for a centerpiece right now. I don't really know if it's gonna stay like that, but I do like the antlers. I have a thing for deer antlers. There's my ladder all done up. I never changed the key. The key is an old church key that I bought at a antique fair thing. I just love that thing. And there's my thing again. I love this tablecloth. My mom had this on her table for, God, probably 20 or more years. And when she moved back up north, she gave it to me. There's some little pine cones and stuff. I love winter berries. I am just obsessed with winter berries. I love them. And then in the diffuser, we've got some doTERRA Holiday Joy. I really like this blend. I used to work with a girl and she would do Holiday Joy pretty much all year round. Didn't matter if it was Christmas or not. She just really enjoyed the smell. And I'm working on straining out some oil so I can put that back in the fridge until next time we decide to make something fried. That's sunflower oil. And thanks everybody for watching and enjoy your journey.